Felix Myers,
I, Felix Myers,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Alaska,
the Constitution of the State of Alaska,
and the Charter and ordinances
and the Charter and ordinances
of the City and Borough of Sitka,
of the City and Borough of Sitka,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge my duties as a member
discharge my duties as a member
of the Sitka School Board to the best of my ability.
as a member of the Sitka School Board to the best of my ability.
Very good, thank you.
Meeting to order at 6:03 p.m. Let's start out with Don, can you do a roll call? Do you have a?
This meeting is being recorded.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Still in the acknowledgements. Tristan, please do.
I'm going to take a STF on their recommendation and do this one kind of from the heart. Anyat Kusani, Gunaschish Ha'iyadi, honorable people of this land, thank you for attending our school board meeting. Gunaschish Kiksadi, Gunaschish Suknahadi, Gunaschish Kagwantan, Gunaschish Chukanadi, Gunaschish, thank you all clans of this land who occupy Sitka currently. And I just want to share a quick anecdote for my land acknowledgement. I had the honor and privilege of serving on the Health Needs and Human Services Commission with Nalgith, Alec Duncan. Alec was born and raised here in Sitka. He is a Tlingit man of the Kiksadi, and at a recent Health Needs and Human Services Commission meeting, Melissa Henshaw was there asking us about our opinions about Sitka. This was tied to the city's new strategic plan, and she wanted to get our input on what makes Sitka a great place, what makes Sitka the place we love. And we all went around, sharing our answers. We love the community. We love that sense of community. We love that we can participate in the public process and have input and affect the decisions that affect our lives and affect our families' lives, affect those we care about. And we went around, and Alec was the last one to speak. And this was about when deer season was getting going. And Alec shared a story of going out with his uncles hunting for deer. And what he shared with the commission was what he values about Sitka, is that he knows when he's out there on the land that he is doing the exact same thing that his ancestors did since time immemorial, for generations and generations, and that he can feel his ancestors when he's on the land. And so what I'd like to say, is just, chish to the Tlingit people, to the indigenous people of Alaska for caring for this land so well since time immemorial, for inviting us settlers, to your land, welcoming us with open arms, making a place for us on Tlingit Ani. And I'd just like to say again, Tlingit, and all of Alaska Native peoples.
Pianete, Mase. Thank you, Tristan. Now going from my board book and out the paper. Let's do a roll call.
Todd Gebler,
Here.
Blossom Teal Olson,
Present.
Tristan Gavon,
Here.
Mitch Mork,
Here.
Felix Myers.
Here.
Paul Ryu is absent but excused.
Thank you, Tom. May I please get a motion to approve the proposed agenda and the consent agenda?
I move to approve the proposed agenda and the consent agenda.
It's been moved.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any public comment to the approval of the proposed agenda and consent agenda? Seeing none. Moving on to 5A, actually 6, special reports, government. Is there any government reports? Let's vote. It's not mine.
It's not roll call, just a roll call.
Let's vote.
It doesn't need to be a roll call vote, there's someone yes.
Felix, right?
Yes.
Mitch,
What am I voting on?
the approval of the consent. agenda?
Yes.
Tristan,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
it's been moved, seconded, and approved. Now moving on to item 6, special reports, government to government. Is there anyone here? Government, come on up.
Hi there, my name is Sarah Ferenczi. I am the Deputy Director of the Cultural Resources, Education, and Employment Department at the Sitka Tribe of Alaska. And I'm here to just give you some updates on our educational programs. Lucretia sends her regrets. She is teaching right now because we started our SNP after school programs this week. We have a wait list at K through 5 and the highest enrollment in Gajahing dancers that we've seen in a decade or longer, so it's pretty exciting. We always hate to turn kids away, and we encourage people to get on the wait list in case spots open up or in case we get to expand. We also this year have started a student support program that's currently geared mostly towards secondary students, but will expand towards elementary in the next year. We have opened a space for young people called our Grandchildren's Room at the tribal headquarters on Siganaka Way. Right now there are college prep nights scheduled. They're planning to do FAFSA help, a media club, art, cultural activities, all sorts of stuff is going to start coming out from that place. There's going to be a grand opening, I think, in November as well. We also, many of you may know, and some of you may not, that we have a partnership with Sea Alaska Heritage Institute and the Sitka School District to put STA's traditional arts instructor in school. There's one who teaches classes at Sitka High and one who teaches classes on UAS campus for high school students. And so students can enroll in those classes and get dual credit with UAS and start on that trajectory towards an associate's degree or even a bachelor's degree in Northwest Coast Arts that UAS now offers. And there are 12 students enrolled in that this semester, which is pretty exciting. And then I just want to put a couple of upcoming events on your radar. Monday is Indigenous Peoples Day, you probably heard. Representative Mary Peltola is going to be giving the keynote speech, and I understand she's going to be visiting schools, so that's very exciting. SNP will be hosting some breakout sessions at the Indigenous Peoples Day celebration. And then the following week we have Alaska Day / Reconciliation Day coming up, and I just want to sort of just mention that in SNP we try to teach that from multiple perspectives, because the experience of Alaska Day was very different for Alaska Native people than it was for the people who were buying the land. And so we just, we know that critical thinking develops well when you can consider from historical events from multiple points of view. And so that's the approach we're taking in SNEP, and we encourage everybody to have those conversations, in the community and elsewhere. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Quincy, for that informative update. There are many things coming up, and thank you for sharing about it. Are there any other government reports? Seeing none, moving on to item number 7, recognitions, 7A. And this is my most favorite part of the night. So I think this will make up for the very busy week that I've been having. I've been looking forward to this. Again, if I slip up on Robert's rules, it's because I am tired. So please forgive me. But again, 7A, this is what I've been looking forward to. This is what the board has been looking forward to. So 7A, front office staff and nurses. We are recognizing all the front office staff and the school nurses for going above and beyond in making the Sitka School District's COVID mitigations a success. So can I please have the front office and
Missing some. I don't understand. Thank you.
That's not me.
Hold on a second. Why don't you guys come on up, Ethan? Come on up and we'll get a picture.
Please.
All right.
How's my hair?
So I'd just like to take a moment to recognize the front desk staff, our secretaries, our nurses, for all the hard work they did during the pandemic. Last year, coming back to full day in-person education was, in the middle of some of the highest COVID-19 rates that we had, was something that was really something I wanted to do coming as a new superintendent, but I know the community wanted as well. And the work that the front office staff, all the staff in the Sitka School District did was amazing to make sure that we were able to bring our students back. We didn't have to close our doors in any of our buildings for the whole year. We were able to have full day in-person instruction all year long. And all the staff pulled together and did an amazing job. But we want to take this opportunity really to recognize the front office staff and the nurses, because what they were able to do and put together and plan for doing testing and coordinating, communicating with families, communicating with staff. The list would go on and on and on. And this was something that they didn't ask, why we need to do this. It's like, what can we do? How can we make this happen? And they did. And I just want to take this moment, the board wanted to take this moment, really to recognize all the hard work and effort that you guys did last year to keep our schools open, to work with our students and our families, to communicate, to test. And I know Chris probably has dozens of other things to add because you guys did so much, but we just want to take this moment to recognize and thank you for everything you did. So thank you so much. Have a round of applause. Well, we got to get the picture.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, front staff and nurses. The second recognition tonight, I really don't want to do, even though I am so happy for this gentleman, the person of
this community has grown as part of the Sitka School District family, and when I heard this news, it made me extremely happy, but extremely sad, because he means so much to our district. I'm so excited though. We would like to recognize Ernesto Yu, retiring custodian at Kikushimi. Ready?
Ernie, I don't know. I mean, I just have to take a moment. We'd like to present you with this plaque for your 26 years of dedicated service to the Sitka School District. How about another round of applause? Ernie, coming in, when I came in last year and, coming in new, I was just blown away by just your dedication, your commitment. And I had heard about this back a couple years ago in March, when I think, when we were going through and we were recognized for all the hard work and effort that you did for keeping the schools safe and keeping them clean during the COVID pandemic. And, just when I came in and just the whole time I've been here and seeing the work that you've done, I mean, you're there before school, after school, Johnny on the spot, getting stuff done. It is just impressive to watch you work. You always have a smile on your face. You always say good morning. You always say good night, or good day. And at the end of the day, goodbye. It's just been a pleasure working with you, and it's like I said, and I think as President T.L. Olson said, we're very happy for you, but we're also very sad to be losing you, because you really are an amazing staff member. You're an amazing person, and you do so much for the school, for the teachers, for the staff, and for the students. And so thank you for your dedicated years of service, and we wish you all the best. Congratulations again on everything, and thank you so much. I know. You want me to go? Now there's one more picture taken in the back, so we want to make sure we can get that picture. Now I'm gonna give Ernie an opportunity. Now Ernie, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to say a few words if you'd like to say a few words. Oh, come on.
Thank you so much, yeah.
Thank you. No. Okay. Yeah. No. We're not quite done yet. So I'm going to go ahead and hand the mic over to Principal Demmer.
Thank you. I just wanted to jump up and say a couple words about Ernie here, and I think all of us know I could go on and on about the work that he does and how he anticipates everybody's needs, students and staff. Just gets things done, but what we're going to miss most about Ernie is Ernie, the human being. He's amazing. He's an example, I think, for all of us on how we should be, how we should treat others, and how we should act every day. So thank you, Ernie. We're going to miss you.
We have a little video for you, Ernie, so I hope everyone just enjoys.
Heard him twice.
Sound. Oh. Can you play it on your computer? I can bring the mic over.
What do you like most about Mr. Ernie? I like how he always makes people smile, whatever he was. He's nice to everyone. Always helps everyone. The fact that he's so nice to everybody, no matter what. Never really spoke with him that much, but when I have, I think he's really nice. I like Mr. Ernie because he's like super nice and he helps everyone when they need help, and he's just super kind. I like how he's kind and he always comes along with us. I love how positive he always is. You're fun and I like Mr. Ernie because he cleans up and he is really funny. He's very helpful. He helps in our school every day. He's respectful for everyone. He always helps in his stuff. I like best about Mr. Ernie is that he likes to clean the school. That I think he likes to clean the school. He always cleans up the school. What do you like most about Mr. Ernie? I like how he's kind and he's always really confident. I like it when he cleans the classroom so it can be really clean and nice. What I like about Mr. Ernie is that he always goes around the classrooms and changes everybody's things. He always helps out. I like Mr. Ernie because he likes to go around with me. I like how much he can help. Very nice to everybody. He's the best janitor I've ever seen. Thank you, Mr. Ernie.
Thank you again, Ernie, for everything.
Moving on to 7C, we're going to recognize our Hafletsini Students of the Month. I'm going to start out with Mr. Mork.
This is recognition of Donald Skolka. He was chosen because he embodies so many wonderful characteristics. Every day, Donald arrives to class with a positive attitude and smile on his face. He genuinely cares about others, has a curious mind, and is an eager learner. He accepts responsibility for his mistakes and is a positive role model in the way that he can solve problems independently or remind others about school expectations. Most of all, he is a kind student that is empathetic, funny, and honest. Thank you, Donald.
Empathize with you because I do not like to be in front of people. It's very intimidating. Congratulations, Mr. Favan.
So, I have the honor of presenting the Pacific High School Hafletsini Student of the Month. Woo! So, I would like to ask Aubrey LaRue. Would you mind coming up here, Aubrey? So Aubrey was selected as the PHS Hafletsini Student of the Month for October because she embodies the PHS values of perseverance, honesty, and stewardship on a daily basis. She's at school every day unless she is sick. She worked in the PHS garden all summer. She is welcoming and gracious to her peers. She works hard on her academics, and she has an unwavering positive attitude. Despite all the obstacles that have cluttered her path, she continues to persevere with bravery and kindness. Congratulations, Aubrey. I would just like to add, I have the privilege of having Aubrey in the class that I'm co-teaching at Pacific High, the local government class, with Matt Groen, and Aubrey is just a delight to have in class. just super intelligent, contributes, just really makes the class so much stronger. With her presence, she's an amazing young woman who is going places, and I just am so thankful that I've had the opportunity to meet her and get to know her.
Congratulations, Mr. Kedler.
All right. I'm looking for Charlie. Is Charlie here today? Charlie Hutchins is a second grader in Mrs. Pepper's room. Charlie is an excellent example of Kikushimi's core values: respectful, responsible, safe, and kind. He always has a positive attitude, is a great classmate and friend, and is very involved in learning American Sign Language with his classmates. Congratulations, everybody.
I wonder if he's get a picture. That's okay. Where's your dad?
Can you say Chuck?
Congratulations. Harry, you're doing a good job. Acts a lot like you. Which is a good thing. So I am next. I have the privilege to ask for Mr. Howard Welsh to come on up. As always, I'm looking up. Howard is always engaged in classroom activities and often leads others in small group discussions. He has a positive impact on our classroom atmosphere and is a great role model because he approaches every task with joy and interest. It is obvious that he loves learning. He does excellent work and is kind to all. Howard makes Sitka High School a better place to be. Congratulations. Moving on to 7E, or actually 7D, recognize Principal Appreciation Month. Principals, it is your month. Please step forward.
Principals, please come on down. So not all the principals are able to be here, but we did want to recognize the principals. October is Principal Appreciation Month and Principal Recognition Month, and just wanted to take an opportunity to recognize. I know you guys should probably get on in the middle. I mean, this is why the principals in the Sitka School District are so amazing, is because for them, it's about being there and supporting the students, not about being in the limelight. And I just want to take a moment to recognize and thank all the administration for all the hard work, dedication, and commitment you had well, for as long as you've been here. And I'm going to actually go through and let each of you say a couple of words, if you want to. I know I didn't tell you that, did I? I know, this is part of the test. So, but I just wanted to say it is just amazing having you as part of the administrative team. I appreciate so much all the work and effort and commitment you have towards, being there supporting the students. You always come to our meetings, you always approach the school day with how can we be there for our kids, and that really is what makes a great administrator. And so on behalf of myself, on behalf of the board, I just want to take this moment to recognize you for Principal Appreciation Month, and congratulations on your month. And thank you guys so much for everything you do. How about a round of applause for our president? All right, let's all get together, and then I'm going to let you all speak. If you. All right, starting with you, Ben. So I'd like to know how long you've been administrator in the Sitka School District, how long have you been in the Sitka School District, and the most wonderful thing about your job.
I've been a principal.
Wait, hold on. Let me get that backpack from you. So
I've been a principal for 78 years. No, I think this is my 11th year as a principal, my 16th-ish, I think, in the district. I'm not real sure on either of those amounts of time. The best thing about my job is hands down the students. It's a highlight to get to work with them. You never know what your job's going to be day to day. You know it's going to involve kids. You never know exactly how it's going to involve kids. And so it keeps you on your toes, and it's never boring.
This is 18 years in administration, 25th year in the district, and
how old are you?
Best part of the job is working with the kids and then staff. Just having great staff to work with that really care about kids as well.
All right, for me, this is my first year in administration. Thanks, Marla. And then I think 17 in the district, and I think Ben forgot to leave out. Best part of his job is getting to work with me.
Not bad.
You can buy me coffee tomorrow. I think I just am really enjoying this new role and getting to see the staff and the students kind of in a different light, enjoying that. And I think I really need to say my appreciation to Barb Webb and Susie Wilson that we could not be here tonight, and we could not do our jobs without them.
They're our front office staff. They're amazing.
They run the school.
Yeah, they run the school.
I gotta be honest, I'm thinking about making spaghetti right now. We're with House Cook in Pacific High.
I've got a slide later about that.
Okay. I think this is my 12th year in the district and my 8th as a principal. Could be wrong about that, but I think that's about right. Gosh, the favorite part of my day is Aubrey LaRue. And the rest of the students. I mean, they keep us on our toes and always keep us guessing. But I do just want to put a shout out to Pacific High staff for, co-leadership and stress management for all of us, and they're just a fantastic staff to work with, and we wouldn't be able to, I think, have the success with kids that we do if we weren't all there working together as a team. So couldn't do without them.
Yeah. Thank you all for everything. How about one more round of applause for everyone?
Thank you, principals. Moving on to 7E, we are recognizing Andrew Haynes and Paul Ryu. Is Paul Ryu absent and excused? Andrew, please come.
So Andrew, we have applied for you for your service and dedicated service on the Sitka School Board. Obviously, I first met Andrew when he was part of the school board team that hired me as a superintendent. And it was amazing to get the opportunity to work with Andrew and just get to know him as a board member, also myself as a new superintendent. I really enjoyed having that relationship, having those conversations. And I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna kind of go out and kind of say, he had a conversation with me about the possibility of applying for the band director or the music director at Sitka High School. And I had this thought in my head, is like, oh man, I would hate to lose him as a board member because you were an amazing board member. And I just wanted to say that you were a fantastic member, you were a fantastic president when you were in that role. But then I had this thought in my head, working with us is great, having that positive impact on the district as a whole is great, but every single day, the impact that you're going to be able to have on the students at Sitka High School and all the students that go through that program, it was just it was wonderful for me to hear from you that you wanted to get back into teaching, because I just saw that passion in you, that commitment, that dedication towards teaching, towards students, and towards music. And so it was really a win-win for me, and we're really excited. We wanted to recognize you for your service to the school board. You've made an unbelievable difference to this district in that role, and I just know you're going to continue to make an unbelievable district in your role as the music director at high school. So congratulations on your service, but also on your new position, and thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you, Juan,
Okay. Sure. No, thank you for the recognition. I felt when the opportunity to apply for this position came open, the very first thought was I can't leave the board, but weighing the pros and cons, it seemed like a good move, and still being able to contribute to the district in a much different way. So it's been such a joy to be back in the classroom. I'm feeling pressure in a whole new way, which is fun. We do have a concert next week on Tuesday night, so I'd love to invite you all to come to that. It's wonderful to work with students like Felix and a bunch of other at the high school. So great to see taking on multiple roles. We all get to do that in a community like this. So, and thank you to the board. I know firsthand how that can weigh on you in a whole other way as well. So if you ever want to grab a coffee or something, just let me know. I'd be happy to chat with you. So thank you so much, everybody.
Not so fast. I'm the president, and I get to speak as well. Get back. Starting to get away. And I'm going to make you stand down.
Okay.
So, I'm doing this because we were sworn in together.
We were.
And being, community members of Sitka and taking on the role of getting elected, getting out the vote, and being a part of the school board, we, I think, had the same mind of serving our community, serving our children, being parents, giving back to our community. And then COVID hit. And everything changed, and I think we have a trauma bond together as well. And with Amy leaving and with Paul leaving as well, there's been a big feeling of change. I'm really excited for the new board and our new future ahead of us, but your service is very much appreciated. It was very well served, and thank you very much for all that you've done for the district. I too was sad to hear of him leaving the board, but I was extremely happy that you're giving back in a different way, because music is part of you, and you're giving, generations part of your passion, and I know that will live on. So thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have little legs, so learned in life to walk at my pace. Moving on to item number 8, persons to be heard. I almost want to take a break so we could just soak in all the joy and all of the recognitions. It's not every school board that we get to recognize such a group of people who make Sitka what Sitka is, but I'm not. Persons to be heard. Persons to be heard is an opportunity for members of the public to speak to the board about a topic that is not on the agenda. As these are not agenda items, no board deliberation or action will occur in response. Questions for clarification may be posed by board members. The board may choose to refer items to the superintendent or designee for further action. The standard time limit for comments will be 3 minutes unless otherwise stated by the board president with consent of the board. A timer is used and a sound will indicate when time expires. All comments must be respectful, and charges of complaints against specific employees are not permitted per Alaska State statute. Members of the public are referred to board policies 1312, 1312.1, 1312.2, 1312.3, associated administrative regulations, as well as to Board Bylaw 9323A for information about how to lodge complaints. Speakers are also asked to please state their full name for the record prior to speaking. Are there any persons to be heard tonight?
Good evening, my name is Mike Vieira, currently serving as the president of the Sitka Education Association, and I'll just keep the love going, keep the good vibes going. Want to say congratulations to Tristan and Mitch for what appears to be a successful campaign and election, and we're happy to have you serving in that role, and thanks for being willing to put in the time and hours and work on behalf of all of us. Sam Felix, I had your sign done today, but it was still sticky with finish, so we'll get it here for the next meeting, but congratulations on being here. Wanted to echo just the words of appreciation. I put Ernie in the top 5 Sitka School District employees of all time, and he's not even a Sitka School District employee, but he was at the high school when I first started 16 years ago. We got him for like a year or two, and then he got snatched by Casey, and we were heartbroken to see him leave. I was mostly heartbroken because of all the treats that his wife would bring and put in the staff lounge, halibut enchiladas and Filipino cuisine. So he is just a beacon of joy every time you see him, and like Casey said, an example of all of us in finishing a career strong. So on behalf of the staff, we echo our appreciation for Ernie. And then we wanted to also just say thank you to Andrew and Paul. I don't know if we'll get a chance to honor Paul, but I came here tonight specifically to say nice things about Paul. I kind of view Paul as a blue-collar intellectual. He has that connection to both worlds, I think. And he's a rare person who can really connect with the community, the blue-collar community, and I think kind of the intellectual community too. And I saw him as a really important bridge during the time of COVID when we had such strong differences of opinion on how we're doing things. And he was a really strong presence through that, and as teachers we appreciated his role up here to stand in front of the community and make the hard decisions for us and keep us rolling so we could focus on teaching kids. So I will always appreciate Paul. I'm glad that he's taken some time away to focus on his family and all the other things that he's going to focus on. I hope maybe one day he'll consider coming back. So on behalf of teachers, we wanted to express our appreciation to Paul Rio as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vieira. Are there any other, Mr. Haynes?
Andrew Hames, here as the Sitka High music teacher. thank you again for all you do as a board, and yes, congratulations to Tristan and Mitch and for stepping up and making it formal to claim the seats. So Blossom and I were both appointed, same type of thing, and then election afterwards. So thank you for getting into that, and thank you for the many hours that you will be putting in the future, that you're already putting in. I wanted to just give a small update from the music program. Just about 2 weeks ago, I was able to attend a meeting with other Southeast Alaska music directors in Ketchikan. It was great to meet them all face to face. I was struck by a couple of things though, as we went around the room introducing ourselves. Almost all of those teachers, even in Ketchikan, Juneau, what we think of as larger cities, most of those music teachers had split assignments where they were teaching choir for a couple periods a day and then teaching math, or they were teaching band and then they had a couple of technology classes, or they were only there for 2 periods of the day. And I just wanted to thank past boards and current boards for supporting a full-time music teacher position, not just at the high school, but in other, the middle school and the elementary school as well. We're very fortunate to have that. COVID has certainly done a number on music programs across the country. Southeast Alaska is no different, so we're absolutely in a rebuilding phase. But in taking stock of where Sitka High is at right now, we're very fortunate to have the continuity that we've had and to have the support from not just the community and fellow teacher colleagues, but also the board as well. There were also programs that had been whittled down because of programs that have been cut from on like the middle school level or elementary level, and thinking, well, we can still have it at the high school. And it's so important to have that experience for students all the way through their elementary, middle school, high school. So I ask, as you approach another budget season, to just, I know it's ironic. I know how tough it is. I know how hard it is. But thank you for making the arts and other electives a priority in our district. Like right now, Juneau Douglas, from what I understand, their choir program is almost nothing now because of cut programs at lower levels. That's not the right way to phrase that. At middle school levels or elementary levels, and then also policies that allow students to kind of just get out early and skip electives and all of that. So thank you for making music a priority. Look forward to doing great work with my colleagues and with the great students at Sitka High School. We do have a concert this coming Tuesday, so again, love to see you all there. So thank you for all you do.
What time is that concert?
7 o'clock.
At the PAC?
You got it.
Good to have that info. Thank you, Mr. Haynes. Is there anyone else for persons to be heard? Seeing none, moving forward. Let's see. Item 9, school highlights. Baranoff Elementary and Blatchley Middle School.
We'll be doing Baranoff's, and I've actually worked it into my update later on, but I do see Ben in the back, and we do have something for him.
Mr. White.
And Miss Fulton too.
And
Yep.
And another one.
And another one.
And another one.
All right, okay. So we did put together a little video, and as you can see on the screen, this.
I think I can get it here. Let's see.
let's turn on your mic, please.
Thank you. Okay, so we put together a
Hello,
little.
Sitka School Board. I'm Alice White, an 8th grade student at BMS and the voice of Blatchley. Mr. White's going to show you a few highlights of the school year. We have a lot of fun things going on here, like cross-country, theater club, chess club, and lots more.
Okay, so that sound wasn't working originally, so we were gonna ad-lib, and then Alice would have been mad at it tomorrow for like imitating her voice. She is one of our 8th grade students. She is the voice of Blatchley, so we said we'd do a little intro for us, and she said, sure, no problem. So we've got just a little slideshow here, and we'll take turns telling you what's going on. The first one up is our chess club. This is our longest running club. It's been going for 20 years? 20 years. Mr. Allison is the coach of the chess club. He also has chess class during the day. This is an after-school club. It's also our most popular club. We actually have to cap the attendance at 30 kids each day, and we always have 15 to 20 more kids saying, oh man, I know I don't get to go today. If we open it up to anybody to come that wants to come, we'd have 45 or 50 kids. Every day we do this, we just can't herd that many cats at once. So we cap it at 30. We've had some nationally ranked students come out of our chess club and chess classes that have gone on to compete in Washington, D.C. and other places. I've got a great personal story about this. My oldest son, Nate, who's a freshman, when he was in 8th grade, he had 4 or 5 of his buddies over for a sleepover. And I told the boys, yes, you can come over, yes, you can have a sleepover, you know, don't act like monkeys. If you want to do it again, make sure it works well. You got to go to bed at X time. I forget what time X was. And I said, I'm going to cut down and check, make sure you guys are in bed. So about half an hour past their curfew, I walk downstairs and I can see the lights are on, I can hear them talking, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I could not have been more clear. Like, for a living, I communicate with kids, and I'm like, I knew they heard me. So I walk in there, I'm about to make some heads roll, and I hear, you can't make that move right now. That's not you can't, if you do that, I'm gonna take your pawn. And so I started listening, and they were all playing chess with one another and friends online. So I thought to myself, if these kids are gonna stay up and break the rules about curfew, it's pretty good that they're doing it playing chess with people online. So I had to laugh at that, and then I did make them go to bed, and they complained about that and wanted to finish their game, so I let them do it. Next one, Chris.
Okay, I'll talk about this one. Cross country. 2 weekends ago, we were able to host the first cross country meet for middle school in I think over 8 years is what we found out. And Ketchikan came. They brought 12 people, and we hosted them, and it was a wonderful event. We had over 30 students from the middle school participate, and the largest number of 6th grade students we have seen in a long time are interested in running. We want to give a shout out to Coach Zosha Krupa and Andrea Colvin. They've done an amazing job with the kids and encouraging all kinds of great sportsmanship and getting out there and putting their best foot forward. These are some photos from the event, and I would also like to say, as this is my first year and I'm learning all these new things, Mr. Hirai was phenomenal in making sure this happened, and it actually ran very well. So thank you, Hirai.
Here's a list of some of the other clubs we have. We have an art club that is run by Mr. Conforti. It meets on Tuesdays after school. We also cap that at about 20 students. We've got a book club. We've got the chess club, as mentioned. We've got a science club run by Miss Devine. That meets on Thursdays. We've got a new theater club that takes place during lunchtime. And Mrs. Calrini, who's our AmeriCorps, is a retired teacher of 30 years that did drama, debate, forensics, and theater. So she's taken that on, and that's a real big hit at our school as well. It's something we haven't been able to offer. We don't have a theater club there, and so we have several kids attending that as well. So this is our red dot activity, and some of you may be familiar with this. We've been doing this for, at least 7 or 8 years, and maybe more at Blatchley. The idea here is we get all the staff together, all of our certified teachers and all of our paraprofessionals, and I print off the names of every student in our school. There's no other information, just the kid's name. And staff go one by one through the 6th graders, the 7th graders, and the 8th graders, and if they have a special connection to that kid, and we define special connection as you can talk about that kid's interests, their families, and other unique things about them, above and beyond just a typical student-teacher interaction. If they feel they have that kind of connection with the kid, they put a dot by the student's name. Once a student has 3 dots, we say that student's covered. That student, we believe, if there's 3 adults that feel they have a strong relationship with that student has someone they would likely turn to in a time of need, in a time of help, and be able to get their needs met. So we go through the entire thing, and students who don't have 3 dots, we cross-reference with an activity the entire district does later in the year called the BEASY, the Behavioral Index Scale for Youth. I forget the other acronym for it. And that's a much more specific topic. It talks about, the BEASY talks about, is a child an introvert? Is a child an extrovert? Do they have a score that raises alarm for staff? And we cross-reference those 2 things. So if we have a student that doesn't have 3 dots and also comes out with a significant score on that, we know that is a student that we really need to bolster some supports around. Regardless of the cross-reference between the BZ and the red dot, any student who doesn't have 3 dots, we assign a teacher to. We say your job is to get to know this student, take time, get to know them, develop a relationship. And what we really do try to do, Chris, you can go to the next slide. What we really try to do at Blatchley, oh, there were 2 more in there. Okay, that's a husky. Also our mascot. The next slide that was in it was just a picture of the sheep. What we really try to do at Blatchley, because middle school is such a formative time for kids, so many kids are having hormonal changes, going through puberty, trying to figure out who they want to be, what they want to do. We really try to ensure that every one of our students has someone they view as a trusted adult in the school so that we can help them navigate when and if they need help navigating all of those changes that happen in middle school. And if you wonder exactly what middle school is like, think back to the many, many years ago when you were there, and the memories you conjure up probably aren't like, oh, that was the most fantastic time of my life. For many of us there, it's like, oh man, middle school is kind of brutal. So we really try to do our best to support our students, not only academically, but also socially and emotionally by ensuring they have a trusted adult. One last thing to add. You would be amazed at how many kids have 3 dots. The vast majority of kids have 3 dots, and that is because of the staff at Blatchley Middle School. They do a lot of stuff that doesn't happen in other middle schools. And when we have families that come in the Coast Guard, when we have substitute teachers, we always get comments about, you guys do a lot of stuff that is based on fun and getting to know kids. We do academics as well, but we also believe that having those relationships will make those academics stronger and easier for the students. Any questions? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, one last thing. We would like to put a little plug in. We are having a Blatchley Middle School fundraiser, a dinner event at Elks on the 23rd. So we'll be sending out information. So we will have students and staff serving adults and a dessert option. So
and cooking, so it's like coming on a risk type of deal.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thank you.
And what time does it start?
I believe we will get that information to you, I think, at 6.
Thanks.
And Mr. Hauser, you stated that you're going to talk about Baremouth Elementary when it comes time to your...
Yeah, during my superintendent update, I have Ms. LaCrone's slides in there so I can speak to some of what she wanted to do. All
right. Well, since, you know what, I'm going to be very honest. I've had a very long week and a very long day. I've talking about middle schoolers. I hosted 4 middle school girls for a sleepover, and I have yet to recover. They had the time of their life. I'm so happy for that. But for me, as a mother and their guardian, again, I'm still trying to recover. So at this moment, I'm going to use my presidential power and take a 5-minute recess. We will come back at 7:05. It is 7:05. The meeting will commence again. Thank you for that. I think we all needed to process the evening. At least I needed to as well. The meeting starts again at 5:05, technically 7:06. My apologies. Moving on to reports and presentations, this is item 10A, community recreation update. May I please get, Barb Morris will present. Barb?
Thanks for inviting us to introduce ourselves and the Parks and Rec, the recreation arm that's developing from the city. I'm really excited to be here and we've been having the pleasure of working with Frank and the other school folks and starting to get things going. I'm here, Barb Morse, as a interim Parks and Rec coordinator for the city, just to really launch the program and get things rolling. So I am particularly happy to introduce Andrew Roseman, who I had the pleasure of hiring last week to be our new recreation specialist. So he will be the one that's comparable to what you may have known previously in community schools as the sports coordinator. He'll be working on city league activities and sports and the like. So at this point, we're basically still in the startup stage. Ben has been, and the Blatchley staff has been really great. We have the old community schools office back, which is a really good location to be able to supervise the facility at Blatchley and do the programming. And just today, we managed to get our internet and phone set up with great coordination between the city IT and the school district IT. So we are in the process of really getting up and running all the details you need to get things operating. We're going to be sort of phasing in the programs so that in the fall now where we are, we're going to be starting things, and my criteria had been that I had somebody hired by October 1st, and we did. So we can start working on programs. We hope to be able to start City League, it's our goal to get it up and running, City League basketball by October 24th. So that will be coming right up this month. And the other things that we're working on doing just immediately are taking over the coordination of the after school, out of school activities that the community schedules. Over the last couple years, the principals have really stepped up and done a great job of helping to accommodate community people as much as possible. So we're glad that we're going to be here to be able to take that burden away from them now and start doing that. So we're in the process of making that transition to having us do the scheduling for the schools. And we're also going to be doing some things like open gyms for both teens and adults during this quarter. And as the year rolls on, we'll start to add more activities. We won't really have a full-blown recreation program for youth, and mostly we'll be doing coordinating until the summer is when we plan to have a lot of programs going on. So, but there'll be, it's just sort of a work in progress. We're doing sort of what you might say is a gap analysis, looking at what programs have been offered that are being offered in the community currently by community groups, or even the school is offering more than they used to. So what is no longer needed that community schools might have done, and what is still needed that there are things that we should be looking at offering. So, and I'm happy to let you know that our phone number is active. And I'm going to give you Andrew's phone number, if anybody wants it. It's 747
4033.
So, yeah, that was one thing we couldn't even start putting out publicity because we really couldn't give out our own mobile numbers as the only number. So we are just getting ready to do up our forms and get going. So thank you for being involved and supporting.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for us?
Questions? Comments?
Great, thank you.
Moving on to item 11, board member reports.
Mr. Ward, do you have a...
Do you have a report, Mr. Ward?
I guess just went to Boardsmanship Academy last month up in Fairbanks. It was good. Learned about my roles and responsibilities. Some other programs that are available to kids, and some things that the other districts are doing. So it was a good experience.
Mr. Kepler, do you have a report?
Also, the fall ASB boardsman retreat that we had in Fairbanks was I also enjoyed it. Lots going on. I particularly keying on and still doing a lot of research on my own with the retention and recruitment presentation that we had. Lots to digest, still working on that, and going to get something together and share it with the rest of the board. But definitely like the new, I guess you could say, the new view of internally found teachers. Okay, recruiting from inside, from high school to different pipelines through the university system that way. So interesting. Lots to unpack, and I'm still looking into it, but I'll have something together for you guys to share. And can't wait for that.
Thank you, Mr. Kepler. Mr. Gavan.
Thank you. I've included a written report in the publicly available agenda, so I'll try to spare you a lot of the details and musings, some of them around some of our budgetary issues and kind of key issues or priorities that we may face here in the coming year. Just in terms of activity, this past month I was able to attend my first policy committee meeting. That was a really great meeting, really good group of people involved with that, and looking forward to working on updating some policies, creating some new ones. We have, just for the public's information and others' information, we have a new school naming policy and administrative regulation that we've been working on. We're looking at updating the community schools program policy, the education of Native or Indian children policy, and then reviewing several of the series, the 2000 and 3000 series over this coming year. And then also wanted to mention to that we're adding, also looking at the board membership policy and exploring the idea of adding a seat for a Pacific High student. So that was great, the policy committee. I also had an opportunity to attend the Sitka Native Education Program summer showcase. It was great. They showed a video at the movie theater. It included some of the students' work with elementary students. Over the summer, they produced animation videos with Tlingit language. There was a podcast summer camp, so that was within the showcase. And there was just a lot of good photos, videos, audio of all the great things that the SNEP program did over the summer. And that's a collaboration between the tribe and the school district, and also included other partners like Sitka Trail Works. They did a camp where students were engaged in community service projects, cleaning up trails, parks, cemeteries in Sitka. So that was awesome to see. Check out the SNEP Facebook page to see that video. And the other additional thing, I was able to attend the Every Child Matters, or the Orange Shirt Day commemoration this past Friday, and that commemorates students who were either lost or survived the Native boarding school or the Native residential boarding school period here in Alaska, the United States, Canada, throughout North America. And just from my personal experience, I didn't know very much about the Native boarding school era up until I started working for the tribe and was working on a Tlingit language revitalization project, and started to do some research on my own. It wasn't something I remember learning about in school, but just such a significant period of history. I really appreciate everybody who put the event together on Friday. Joan Brady Howard, former school board member, some students from Outer Coast, some local singers and drummers, and just a great event commemorating that era and what Native people went through, and something I'd love to see the school district spend some more time focusing on educating the community about in the future. So that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Gavon, for your report. As for my report, I would like to echo my fellow board members' thoughts on this last AASB Boardmanship Academy that was held in Fairbanks, Alaska. As they stated, it was very well put together. It was informative. It showcased and allowed other districts and board members from around the state to talk about what they are facing in their districts. And as we come together monthly to talk about what we are facing here in Sitka and what we need to do for our children, it was refreshing to know that we are not alone. This whole state has wonderful, amazing people that come together as well, and they too are facing many different obstacles in their districts, and they are coming together and trying to find solutions for their barriers and their goals that they've set out for their districts. For myself, it was amazing to sit down and listen and to gather that information. As always, it was an honor to represent Sitka along with my fellow board people. I think, as we did tonight, we recognize the many great people that make our school district what it is. And going to a state event and representing Sitka and being able to state our obstacles, our goals. Very happy to say that I feel, are always a shining light when it comes across the state. And it's not us, it's the people of Sitka, it's our children, it's our teachers, it's our administrators, it's everyone that gets up every morning and make our children our priority, right down to parents driving their children to school or getting their children on the bus. So again, it was an honor to listen to the state, listen to each other, come up with ideas, come up with solutions, and move forward. I want to thank Mr. Gabon for bringing up the Orange Shirt Day. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend. I had prior commitments, but I want to thank Dion Brady Howard for putting on that event. As an Indigenous person who has felt the generational trauma and who is part of the community that continues to feel that generational trauma, it is important to highlight such events and recognize that the school system was part of that trauma, and it was an avenue that was used to inflict that trauma. In saying that, we are here tonight in the spirit of Hafletsini to carry forth and provide that safe space for healing for our families and to uplift and uphold people like Dion Brady Howard and the Outer Coast young people who feel it necessary, and all the other community members that have come together to not let that history go away and to speak and stand for the children that did not come home. So thank you, Mr. Gavon, for that report. I do want to echo, I was a part of the first policy committee meeting. We are in the works of creating a renaming policy. It is still not yet finished, but I'm looking forward to its finalization to the point where we could bring it to the board for its first reading. We also looked over many other policies that I think are needed within our district to make sure that we are striving to hit all of our strategic plans and goals. And I want to thank Mr. Hauser for always being able to run the policy committee and chair it, even though I am the chair, aren't I? You are the voice. I am very much like that young boy who likes to hide, but I am here and present. So again, it was a very informative, it was very uplifting to get back into the policy committee meeting and work on the policy, because that is where change happens within our district. So it may be work, it may take some time to wordsmith and come to an agreement, but we have a great group of people willing to dedicate their time to ensure that we do come up with policies that enrich our lives here in Sitka. And I was very happy to be able to stop by Sitka High School. I stopped by earlier in the month, but I stopped by Sitka High today and had a wonderful meeting with Sandra, the principal there. We had just a sit down, get together, and she gave me notes on planning when I can be a part of the student body. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming months where I can join in on the student council lunches and other different events within the school, because that's where we as board members get to have the moments where, you know, we get to see why we come to the table and work together. So I was very happy to do that. And with that, that is my report. Oh, and also, we went to Fairbanks. It was really great. I grew up in Fairbanks, not that, you know, everyone knows, but I got to see my elementary school principal. He serves on his own board. I saw him last time. It was good to see him again, and it was great to come together as an adult and as a fellow board person within the state. I was also very proud to work along with my aunt, who is also on the school board from my hometown in Kotzebue. And so, in a way, Alaska, again, is so big, it's so small. So, in completion, that's all I have to say. Moving on to item 12, administrative reports, 12A, budget updates. Mr. Hauser.
Thank you, President Wilson. Just a few updates regarding the budget. You'll see that in front of you. As we are continuing to move forward in the school year, we are still collecting revenues through city appropriations and other foundation formula. We are still in agreement, which is always a good thing. If there's any questions on the budget, happy to answer those, or at least jot them down and provide some feedback. What I'm really excited to share with you, though, today is our enrollment and numbers that we have. We are starting the October count, which is how the ADM is determined, essentially the count that we have in the number of students. It's the 20 days in October. It started on Wednesday and will end on the 28th of October. And so those 20 days, school determined the count of how they determined the foundation formula for the school district and our average daily membership. And so we are excited to say that at this point we have 1,118 students enrolled. We are up from 1,111 at the last board meeting, so it's up 7 students. So we're definitely going in the right direction. In addition, we also get to count the students that are in the Ravensway program as well as part of our count. And so those numbers will be going up. They're not reflected in the enrollment breakdown that you see in front of you, but those numbers do count as SSD students in our count. So I'm feeling optimistic that we will be very close to our anticipated count number of 1,125 that we used when we built the budget for the FY23 school year. Again, though, this is still early. We have 20 days, so we have until October 28th. But I'm feeling good right now. I just wanted to report that out about our enrollment numbers. Moving on to the presentation. As I said earlier, Jill was not able to be here today, so she sent me her slides. I worked it into the to my presentation. We have more highlights to celebrate, and I always like to have a little bit of highlights, but through the presentation that I have today, but realize when some of what I say is her words. So as we go through, just want to make sure that I pointed that out. We're going to go ahead and go to Baranoff and just take a couple moments to highlight some of the key things that are taking place at Baranoff. And I know we've had a lot of celebrations and highlights tonight, and I want to make sure that we share the rest of the highlights and talk about some other stuff as we're going forward. So we had an amazing assembly. So again, I'm speaking as Jill. We had an amazing assembly. But as students come in, we did not assume our students knew how to behave during assembly. Using our PBIS matrix as our launching guide, our teaching guide I should say, we pre-taught our school assembly expectations and modeled role-played and practiced assembly behavior so students understood how to be good audience members. They were fantastic and enjoyed the show by the world-renowned Eisenhower Dance Detroit Troupe. So this is the troupe that came to Baranoff and visited the school. You'll see some other pictures that they were there. And even had some students start doing some ballet demonstrations and performances. Students in Mrs. Haig's first grade class are also doing one of the assignments in the art kits that are available. Also, living in Sitka means we play and yeah, I love this picture actually. Again, speaking as Jill, living in Sitka means that we play and live in the rain. We started a rental, quote unquote, rental rain gear program in our building. Obviously the students don't have to rent rain gear, rather they just borrow the rain gear and return it. This gives a 5, 6, 7, or 8-year-old the responsibility of getting rain gear in there, getting their own rain gear and also bringing it back and making sure that they don't leave it at home, and also ensuring that all kids stay dry at recess. I'm looking at that puddle there, and I'm questioning that all kids staying dry during recess, but I've got to say that I don't know, I swim in the mornings, and I'm wondering if I should just go to the Baranoff playground to try out. So that looks like a lot of fun. You see that middle picture, he is loving going into that puddle. So the Baranoff also had the first ice cream social, which was a time for the families to get together and know one another and talk. So excited about that. Some more pictures of the ice cream social. We also had the opportunity to start building student skills, more skills, and yes, even more skills. Skills that are being taught every day at our school. So these tiny humans these are tiny humans that are learning to become good people. They're all learning to hold a crayon, color in the lines, use scissors, regulate their emotions. All were learning to read, express themselves in writing, and understand mathematical concepts. So that was some of the highlights from Baranoff Elementary School. I'd also now like to transition to Kikushimi, some of the highlights that are taking place at Kikushimi Elementary School. He's excited to have the culture classes beginning this week. The mural you see in the slide was created by culture class. Enrichment also begins this week, and we're looking forward to providing additional learning opportunities for our students. The Kikushimi Fundraiser is up and running too, and it's not too late to get your orders in case anyone is interested. Kikushimi activities are up and running also. Boys on the Run started on September 21st with almost 2 full teams. 4-H Club is set to start in mid-October. Students and teachers are excited about upcoming field trips, so you can see some of those reflected there. Keith had the opportunity to watch a string quartet. There is a video attached, and I didn't tell Mr. Braun about this, but the bottom one in the center, hopefully you'll be able to see that. The second graders were also visited this week by the Sitka Fire Department, and they also got a chance to see the Detroit dance troupe at the Performing Arts Center. I actually got a chance to attend that as well. And it was great to see the students get to see ballet. Many of them didn't realize what they were coming to see, and there was a little bit like, I'm not quite sure what ballet is, and so they were kind of waiting. And then after the first performance, it just so loud, the applause, the excitement of seeing just the amazing dancers and the troupe perform was just really spectacular for them. So it was great to be a part of that and see that. Mr. Vaughn, are we able to get that video to play of the string quartet?
And to get sound, just get it, stop using the microphone, or the fellows get an echo. So.
I've actually heard from a number of teachers and staff that said that that was just a fantastic performance having the trio come in. So I really want to thank them for coming in and performing. So we're transitioning to Pacific High School. Yesterday at Pacific High School was Harvest Day. Students also had a chance to process apples and start planting next year's garlic. I also had the opportunity to have lunch at Pacific High School a couple of weeks ago, and the food was fantastic, I have to say. I really want to take the opportunity to thank our guest chefs for one of, honestly, the best potato soups and kale salads that I've ever had. It was really, really good. And I really just wanted to put my hats off to Principal Mandy Summer and Secretary Barbara Jones for their work in the kitchen. They were there cooking, and the picture of them is after they finished serving all the students and a lot of adults, because the meal was so just so wonderful. You can also see the menu that was actually today's menu, and I just want to highlight just some of the cool things that are on there. They include fresh carrots, beets, kale, garlic, lettuce, and golden potatoes that are all fresh, that they process and pick themselves. The fish was also locally caught, part of the Fish to School program, so I just wanted to highlight that. That meal for the students. At Sitka High School, they started really I want to start with congratulating the boys and girls 2022 regional cross-country champs. They're heading to state this weekend with a lot of momentum and excellent chances of bringing home the title, so we're really excited for them. The Wolves volleyball team is currently the second ranked team in the state and will be competing in the Grace Tournament this weekend. Drama, Debate, and Forensics, our DDF, are 6-time state champions and are off to a strong start, taking first place at the first DDF meet. They're heading to Metlakatla soon. I'd also like to take a moment to thank Garland Kennedy at the Sitka Sentinel for his excellent coverage of our Sitka School District athletics and activities. Here was one of his articles on our Sitka High swimmers. They had a strong meet in Petersburg last weekend and will be hosting the Sitka meet next week, October 14th and 15th at Mount Edgecombe High School, so please come out and support our swimmers. In other activities, wrestling started last week. The Southeast Honor Festival for Music will be in Haines in 2 weeks. As you heard from Mr. Haines, we had 12 students securing spots in band with 3 alternates and 7 students qualifying for choir. I'd like to thank Principal Lundvik and Athletic Director Rich Krupa for the updates. Just kind of on the side, a majority of our Sitka High School students participated in extracurricular activity last year, approximately 6 out of 10 of our students. There are 15 activities offered at Sitka High School. The largest sports and activity teams are track and field, music festival groups, baseball, and DDF. In just the month since school has started, Blatchley Middle School has also had over 120 students participating in after-school sports and activities. And you saw in Mr. White's presentation today some of the activities that are starting up. And I just wanted to take this moment to encourage students to sign up for something, an activity or a sport, something new this year, and really start to participate and join in some of the fun that's happening at our schools. I want to transition into standardized statewide testing and statewide assessments. I announced last year that the state of Alaska had a new statewide assessment, AK STAR, that was introduced last spring and has replaced the PEAKS assessment. Students in grade 3 through 9 took that assessment last spring as part of the linking study between the MAP assessment, which we were doing previously, and the new AK Star Summative Assessment. We will also be administering the Alaska Science Assessment for grades 5, 8, and 10. Here's the Alaska Star implementation timeline. I showed this to you last year. You'll note that the number of assessments decreased this year from 4 to 3. We did have 4 assessments last year, including the summative assessment, what is now the AK Star assessment. And as you can see, there will only be 3 assessments, the fall map, winter map, and the AK Star summative assessment in the spring. Last year, students in grades 3 through 9 took 3 map growth assessments, fall, winter, and spring, and 1 summative assessment, the AK Star. This year, students will take 2 map growth assessments and the 1 summative assessment. The summative assessment last year was a linking study so that the testing company would be able to generate a RIT score for future AK Star summative assessments. The RIT score, which is part of map testing, will allow families to compare that score of the summative assessment with past and future map assessments. Here's a reporting timeline on the assessments. On October 24th, the district will receive the AK Star from last year and Alaska Science Assessment results. On November 10th, the AK Star and Alaska Science Assessment results will be published on the state website. The district will then print up those results and distribute them to parents by December 9th. Each school has a data committee that will be reviewing the results, and we'll have an update on the committee's report at our December board meeting. And it's important just to say, usually we have some of our peaks assessment data in October, and we're ready to start sharing that out earlier because of the linking study, because it is a new assessment. The timeline is a little bit later, so just wanted to highlight that for everyone. We've been talking a lot about statewide assessments. The results of the national NAEP test come out at the end of the month too. I want to remind everyone that the Sitka School District does not receive results as a district from the national NAEP test. New York City, LA, Boston, Miami-Dade, Atlanta, those huge districts noted in blue on the map receive district level results from the national NAEP test. Sitka does not. It is part of the state's data. So if you've ever heard anyone saying that, quote, Sitka test scores are near the bottom of the U.S., end quote, you'll note that this is not necessarily true. It's kind of a false statement because this national test doesn't even measure how Sitka does as a district. It is as a state. There are only a handful of districts that measures those in blue here. SSD does have data on how the district compares to other districts in the state. Laura Rogers last year put this slide together for the board. This is Peaks English Language Arts data from 2017 to 2021. SSD is in blue, the state average is in red. English Language Arts percentage proficiency in SSD is consistently above the state average at every grade level and by a significant amount, in some instances over 20 points. Here's the PEACE assessments for proficiency for math. Again, SSD is in blue. The most recent data is in the bottom right, and you'll see those numbers. You'll see the only area that the Sitka School District did not score higher than for the over the state average was for 7th grade and 9th grade math, 7th grade in 2019 and 9th grade math in 2021. All other areas, the district scored above the state average. I would update on our strategic planning process. These were the 6 strategies developed during the SSD's community-wide strategic planning process. I shared with you back in September a list of all the action items identified for SSC that were already completed. We were talking then about our cross-district in-service, which focused on culturally responsive programming, which was strategy 2, and strengthening partnerships and building bridges through technology, strategy number 3. To further address strategy 1, SSD has now expanded tutoring options at the high school and middle school levels. We have also rolled out IXL, a web-based personalized learning platform, district-wide, which provides tailored support and online lessons that line up with MAP assessments and target specific areas of need for students in math, English language arts, social studies, and science. We've also expanded dual credit opportunities. You heard a little bit about that earlier today with UAS for students at Pacific and Sitka High School as well as Reach Homeschool. In order to further address Strategy 3, expand and strengthen partnerships, we've implemented digital signatures for IEP meetings, which provides increased opportunities and easier access for family members to participate in IEP meetings if they can't come into the school for any reasons. And as related to strategy number 6, the district has provided information to the public on how we might expand opportunities and remove participation barriers for students in extracurricular activities. And should, and as it looks right now, it will pass, but should Proposition 1 pass, and after all the votes are counted. I want to take a moment to update everyone on the heat pumps for Blatchley Middle School. They are on the way. Our contractor is hopeful to begin installation in a couple of weeks, mid-month. In the meantime, he was able to, quote-unquote, band-aid one unit and get some heat going at Blatchley Middle School. I also just want to remind everyone that you can sign up for Canvas. We are getting a lot more parents that are signing up for Canvas as observers for their students' classes. So I just always want to continue to remind, sign up for Canvas on our district website or download the Canvas app and link to your student's account so you can access grades, assessments, and lessons. You can also contact teachers directly through the Canvas app. Cindy Duncan, our district office, in the district office, and our IT guru has put together some excellent how-to videos for parents that walk through how to set up their parent account, how to use Canvas, and how to set it up on the mobile app. The Canvas app is available for iPhone and Android operating systems. And if you have any questions or you're having problems getting the code for your students, you can you can call the school main office and they should be able to help you with that, as well as many of the schools are going to be having assistance for families during our conferences. And now, sorry about that. Just a couple of announcements. There will be a community rights celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day next Monday, October 10th from 5 to 8 at the UAS campus. The schedule of events is in the green box. At 7 p.m. there will be a breakout activities, many specifically created for young children. The Sitka Native Education Program, SNEP, will have a session highlighting summer camps and stop-motion films created by students. Popcorn with local toppings will be served. And in other announcements, we have an early release day on October 18th, Alaska Day. Also, please consider signing up to be a substitute. We are needing substitutes. We have more subs that are there, but we still are, needing subs. So if you're interested in something for the district, please stop by the district office or look online for some information about that, as well as volunteering in your schools for your students' classrooms, on the playground, and just helping out in schools and being a volunteer. We really do love having our parent volunteers in the building. And with that, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Hauser. Board, do you have any questions? Seeing none, moving on. Item 13, new business. 13A. We need to, we need a motion. That's what I was thinking. May I please get a motion?
Discuss, yeah, we look at the, but we do actually want to discuss first.
Oh, let's discuss.
Then we'll motion for the date.
So, let's switch this around. Again, I'm still recovering. I did take a government class. I do know Robert's rules. I am trying to decolonize. I have written a poem about Robert's rules. I did get an A. Please know that I did. But 13-year-old girls stay up very, very late.
Sounds good.
And I'm 40 years old. And I didn't think I was ever going to be this old. And I'm feeling old. So, let's discuss. We need to discuss the schedule special meeting for swearing in newly elected school board members and reorganizing the board. So, can I get a motion? Or
So
We're gonna see which dates were available.
Yes,
for
let's
next
see
week.
what days.
I'm assuming next week after results are certified on Friday, is that correct?
that's the 11th, right?
The 11th, the results will be certified, so we'll want to look for a date that happens after the 11th. A couple of items, we do have our board retreat on the 14th and the 15th. So we could hold a special session, special meeting to do the swearing in and board organization beforehand on the 14th at around 4 o'clock, if that works for everyone, and then transition into the school board retreat. But if there's other,
On that Friday?
on that Friday, yeah, about 4 o'clock.
That would work for me.
Let's see. That would be the 14th.
That is correct.
What time would that start?
4 o'clock, we'd have the board meeting at 4 o'clock. A special board meeting to swear in the board members to reorganize. And then we'd, when that was done, we'd transition into the school board retreat.
Does Timmy have anything scheduled for the time, or that's just before and everything?
It's before everything, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
So to clarify, we would meet before our board retreat.
That is correct. We'd set the special meeting for the swearing in of the reorganization on Friday the 14th of October for 4 o'clock. And then once that meeting concluded, the board meeting would close out, and then we transition to the school board retreat, which is starting at 5 o'clock on the 14th and goes through the 15th, Saturday the 15th.
That sounds good for me.
That works for me. Mitch?
Yep.
Tristan needs David.
Yeah.
All right.
So Paul would not be, Paul's not part of it. This is Paul's last meeting. Oh, good thing. Okay.
That's correct. This is Paul's last name.
Okay.
So, we have discussed, for the record, may I please get a motion?
So I move to schedule a special meeting of the school board on Friday, October 14th at 1600. No, 1600, sorry. 4 o'clock. Sorry. Sorry, where is that again?
To swear in.
13. Oh, to swear in newly elected school board members and to reorganize the board.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any public discussion? Seeing none. Motion, we have to vote. Mitch?
Yes.
Tristan?
Yep.
Todd?
Yes.
Awesome, yes. It's been moved, seconded, and passed to meet October 14th, 1600, for the special meeting to swear in the newly elected school board members and to reorganize the board. Moving on to item 13B. May I please get a motion?
I move to nominate Blossom Teal Olson for one of the open seats on the ASB Board of Directors and to cover the associated travel and lodging expenses.
Is there a second?
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any public comment? Seeing none. Do I have a moment to discuss, or should I just be formal and do a vote?
I think discussion.
Let's discuss. Okay, so this is on the agenda tonight because AASB, the Alaska Association School Board, has a board of directors, and our yearly annual meeting is when they meet and they discuss and collaborate with their board of directors the direction of how the organization wants to go. This year there are 5 open seats. One of them is a year-long appointment, and
if I were to be chosen, I did decide to put my name in for this.
Not the worst place for that, right?
Can't disconnect.
All right. It's Providence, I should withdraw. Sorry, that was a dig to my mother. So ASB meets, and they have 5 seats opening, and they have asked people to put their name in to see if they would be the right voice to represent and to guide their organization. I am planning to put my name in. It is something that the board has to agree to, because the school district would be covering the cost if I were to be chosen to fly up and accommodate my needs while I represent Sitka. Is there any other discussion? Comments?
I would just say that I think it's good for the Sitka School Board to have representation on the ASB board, so I'm glad that you put your name forward, President Teal Olson, and I'm going to support this.
Thank you, Mr. Kavon. That means a lot. Any other discussion? I would like to say, again, I appreciate the support. I did bring it by Mr. Hauser when I thought about it. When representation is needed and a voice is needed, I find it imperative to be able to represent and bring to the table a perspective that is well-rounded. And so as an Indigenous person, as an elected official, and as a school board member, I'm highly honored to even go through this process. If I'm not chosen, that is completely fine. If I am, I will do my best to represent and help ASB be the amazing organization that they are. So let's go to a vote. Mr. Mork.
Yes.
Mr. Gebler.
Yes.
Mr. Gavon.
Yes.
So, yes.
Oh, I apologize. I'm so sorry. My apologies.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you for being, next time I'm going to have you sit right next to me, and maybe I'll hold hands with you. All right. It's been moved, seconded, and voted on. It has passed. So thank you again. Dawn, is there correspondence and information?
There is not.
Thank you. So moving on to item 15, future agenda items, upcoming events, 15A. Did I need a motion? No, I didn't think so. A long day. How many times can I state that? A lot. 15A, Policy Committee meeting will be held October 12th, 2022 at the District Board Room at 5 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Gavon, for being a part of that. I'm happy to be a part of that as well. Item 15B, the Annual School Board Retreat, October 14th and 15th, 2022 at the District Office Boardroom. I'm looking forward to that. As a very new board, I find it imperative that we spend time together and get to know one another, because we will be spending time together. So I'm, of course, we're going to have Timmy Tulis here, and she is the queen of organization and getting information out there, as well as getting people comfortable to work together. So again, October 12th, 2022, we will be, 14th and 15th, we'll have our retreat. My apologies. Again, annual school board retreat, October 14th and 15th, the district office boardroom, right after our reorganization. Item 15C, next regular school board meeting will be November 1st, 2022, Centennial Hall, 6 p.m.
I'd just like to highlight that as a Tuesday. It's off our normal schedule because we have the ASB annual conference after that. So that November 1st date is a Tuesday.
Thank you, Mr. Hauser. Thou shalt meet on a Tuesday. I'll have to put that in my calendar. Moving on, item 16, adjournment. So again, thank you everyone who came here tonight. Thank you everyone who logged in. Of course, can I please get a, I was going to have some play. Okay. Thank you everyone who joined us on our Zoom meeting. May I please get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
May I get a second?
Second that.
Sitka School Board meeting held October 5th is adjourning at 7:58 p.m.
Get a group photo with our new member.
Yeah, that's good.
And we'll probably pick another one, when we get all the new members. Especially because mom and dad are here too.
I know, we need a second picture with Mom and Dad here too.
Actually, I know, I was trying to get a picture of mom and dad while he was.
I actually did.
Oh, you did?
I did. I absolutely did.
Nice to meet you.
Is that Felix hold the gavel too?
That would be great. Hello. I'm just kidding.
Don't want to upset any.
Journey at your own pace.
Yeah, that's right.
Is everybody in high school taller than me?
No.
Everybody? Oh, okay, sorry.
It's not that.
All right.
All right, and then, okay.
No, wait, not yet.
She got one.
Oh, did you get one?
I got one.
Okay, get it?
Oh.
I'm joking.
You gotta get on either side of them, yeah. Absolutely.
Someday you'll look back and you're like, you know what, I'm glad they took that picture. And these are the most important photos.
Thank you.
Thank you for
so
following.
much.
I'm Freddie. Hi. Congratulations. Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you.
Glad to do it.
Yeah.
It just says we have to every 2 years, or every year,
Right.
we have
How
to
we're,
have staff that have had that training.
yeah,
Which
intimidated.
means essentially
I think I
every
was
2 years.